What if I told you the secret to looking 10 years younger isn't hiding in an expensive salon or some miracle cream, but in the way you're wearing your curls right now? Stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll discover why most women are getting their curly haircuts completely wrong, and the 7 specific cuts that actually turn back time. Number 5 literally made my friend's daughter ask if she'd had work done. Hello, gorgeous. Welcome back to Ageless Glow, where we prove that looking fabulous has absolutely nothing to do with your bank account and everything to do with knowing the right moves. If you're new here, I'm so glad you found us. This is your space for real talk about real beauty that works for real women. And to my returning viewers, thank you for being here again. You all make this community so special. Now, before we dive into these 7 transformative cuts, do me a quick favor. See that subscribe button? Give it a gentle tap and turn on that notification bell. Why? Because I share tips like these every single week, and honestly, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Trust me on this one. Here's something nobody talks about. Curly hair has this incredible superpower. It can literally shave years off your appearance when cut the right way, or add a decade when it's done wrong. The difference isn't in expensive products or high-end salons. It's in understanding how curls naturally frame your face and work with gravity, not against it. So let's get into these 7 cuts that are about to become your new best friends. Cut number 1. The elevated crown layer. Let's start with something I call the elevated crown layer, but here's what it really is. Strategic volume placement. You know how when we hit a certain age, our hair tends to flatten at the top? It's like gravity suddenly remembered we exist. Well, this cut fights back. Instead of layers that start at your cheekbones like traditional cuts, this approach creates shorter pieces specifically at the crown area, about 2 to 3 inches from your scalp. These pieces spring up naturally because that's what curls do when they're not weighed down. The magic here? It lifts your entire face upward. When volume sits higher on your head, it creates an optical illusion that elongates your face and neck. Suddenly, your features look more defined, your eyes appear more open, and that softness under the chin? Way less noticeable. The best part is you don't need fancy styling. Literally just scrunch with your regular products and let it air dry. The cut does the heavy lifting for you. I've seen women who thought they needed a facelift completely change their mind after getting this cut. One woman told me her husband asked if she'd lost weight. She hadn't. She just found the right haircut. Cut number 2. The asymmetrical soft angle. Now, cut number 2 is for my bold ladies who still want that edge but need something that whispers sophistication instead of screaming for attention. I'm talking about the asymmetrical soft angle. This isn't your daughter's dramatic side shave situation. Think of it as a gentle conversation between both sides of your head. One side sits maybe half an inch to an inch longer than the other. That's it. Subtle but powerful. Here's why this works magic on mature faces. Symmetry, while beautiful, can sometimes emphasize the natural settling that happens with age. A soft asymmetry creates movement and draws the eye across your face, rather than letting it settle on any one area. It's like when you tilt your head slightly in photos, everything just looks fresher. The angle also does something brilliant with curls. It gives them a natural direction to fall, which means less frizz, less fighting with your hair in the morning, and more of that effortless vibe we're all chasing. You wake up, shake it out, maybe add a tiny bit of cream to the shorter side and you're done. I want you to imagine this. You're meeting friends for coffee, and instead of spending 40 minutes trying to make both sides match, you spend 5 minutes embracing the beautiful imbalance. That's time back in your life and confidence in your step. Cut number 3. The rounded perimeter shape. Cut number 3 is something I wish every curly-haired woman over 60 knew about. It's called the rounded perimeter shape, but let me explain it in plain terms. You know how some haircuts look like someone just chopped straight across the bottom? That creates a shelf effect, especially with curls. Not flattering, not youthful, actually kind of aging because it boxes in your face. A rounded perimeter is exactly what it sounds like. Instead of a blunt horizontal line at the bottom, your stylist creates a gentle curve. The hair is slightly shorter in the back, and gradually gets longer as it comes around to frame your face. This cut is absolutely genius for one specific reason. It mimics the natural shape of youth. Think about it. When we're young, our faces are rounder, softer, less angular. As we age, we lose some of that facial fat and things get a bit more angular. A rounded perimeter haircut brings back that suggestion of softness without looking juvenile. Plus, curls love curves. They bounce better, they move more naturally, and they create this gorgeous halo effect that makes your whole face glow. It's like the difference between hanging curtains on a curved rod versus a straight one. The curve just flows better. And here's an insider tip your stylist might not tell you. This cut grows out beautifully. You're not stuck going back every 4 weeks to maintain some specific shape. The rounded perimeter just gently elongates as your hair grows, which means more money in your pocket. Quick pause here, beautiful. If you're finding these tips helpful, show me some love with a like on this video. It helps YouTube show this content to more women who need it. And drop a comment telling me which cut you're most excited to try. I read every single comment and often reply with personalized tips. Also, we're only at cut number 3, and the next ones are even better. Number 6 is the one I personally use, and strangers constantly ask me what I do to my hair. Stick around. Cut number 4. The face framing spiral layers. Cut number 4 is for my ladies who want to keep length but still get that age-defying freshness. Welcome to face framing spiral layers. Here's the thing about this cut. It's not about chopping your length. It's about being strategic with where you place shorter pieces. Starting right at your cheekbone, your stylist will create layers that spiral around your face, getting progressively longer as they move back toward your ears and down. Why does this take years off? 2 reasons. First, those shorter curls right around your face catch light differently. They create shadow and dimension that brings attention to your eyes, your smile, your best features. It's like natural contouring but with hair. Second, and this is important, those spiral layers create movement. Static hair, hair that just hangs there, can look heavy and drag your features down. But hair that moves, that bounces when you turn your head, that swings when you laugh, that's vitality. That's energy. That's what people associate with youth. I met a woman at a workshop who told me she got this cut, and her grandkids said she looked like a movie star. Kids don't lie. They see the difference even if they can't articulate why. The maintenance on this is surprisingly low too. You're not trying to make your whole head do one thing. You're letting different sections do their own thing, which is exactly what curls want to do anyway. Work with your hair's natural personality, not against it. Cut number 5. The textured collarbone graze. Now we're at cut number 5, and this is the one I mentioned earlier. The textured collarbone graze. This is the cut that made my friend's daughter do a double take. The concept is simple, but the execution requires a skilled stylist. Your hair is cut to hit right at your collarbone, but instead of a clean line, it's textured. Some pieces are slightly shorter, some slightly longer, all blending together to create this soft, almost feathered effect. Why specifically the collarbone? This length is in the sweet spot. It's long enough to feel feminine and romantic, but short enough that it doesn't drag your face downward. Gravity affects long hair more than we realize. The weight pulls down, and visually that can make everything look like it's heading south. At collarbone length, your curls have enough room to form beautiful spirals without that weight drag. And the texture, that intentional unevenness, it prevents that dreaded triangle shape that curly-haired women fight their whole lives. But here's the real secret sauce. This length draws the eye to one of the most elegant parts of a woman's body. Your collarbone, your neck, your décolletage. These areas don't age the same way faces do. So when your hair frames them beautifully, you're literally directing people to look at your most youthful features. I've seen women who felt invisible suddenly feel seen again with this cut. There's something about rediscovering your neck, your shoulders, parts of yourself that maybe got hidden under long hair for years. It's not just a haircut. It's reclaiming space. Cut number 6. The confidence crop. Cut number 6 is for the woman who's ready to make a statement. I call it the confidence crop, though you might know it as a curly pixie or a short textured cut. Now, I can already hear some of you saying, short hair ages you. And you know what? Bad short hair does age you. But good short hair? Transformative. Here's what makes a curly crop youthful instead of aging. Volume, texture, and intentional length variation. This isn't a one-length buzz. This is shorter at the nape, longer on top, with pieces that range from maybe an inch to 4 inches depending on where they sit on your head. The curls on top create height, which we've already established lifts everything. The shorter sides keep it from looking matronly. And the overall lightness, the way your head suddenly feels free, it changes how you carry yourself. Confidence is the most youthful thing any woman can wear. I'm not going to pretend this cut is for everyone. It requires confidence and a willingness to be seen. But for the right woman, it's absolutely liberating. Think Jamie Lee Curtis, who's rocked short curly hair for decades. Think about how vital and alive she always looks. Maintenance? Easiest of all the cuts. You're literally working with a few inches of hair. A little product scrunch, maybe a diffuser for 3 minutes if you're feeling fancy, and you're out the door. One warning though. Once you go this short and love it, it's hard to go back. Ask me how I know. Cut number 7. The waterfall diagonal. Finally, we've arrived at cut number 7. The waterfall diagonal. This is the most unique cut on our list and probably the one you've never heard of by this name. Imagine your hair is being cut on a diagonal line that goes from shorter in the back to longer in the front, but instead of a harsh angle, it's graduated. Each layer flows into the next like water cascading down steps. That's your waterfall diagonal. This cut is absolutely gorgeous on curly hair because it works with how curls naturally stack and spiral. The shorter back prevents that bulky, heavy feeling at the nape of your neck, which can add visual weight and drag your whole look down. The longer front gives you those face-framing pieces we love, but with more intentional structure. What makes this cut particularly age-defying is the diagonal line itself. Horizontal lines can cut you off, make you look shorter, squatter. But a diagonal line? It creates movement upward. It guides the eye from your shoulder up along your face, which visually lifts everything. I especially love this cut for women who are transitioning from long hair, but aren't ready to commit to something drastically short. You get the freshness and movement of a shorter cut, while keeping enough length to still feel like yourself. Styling is intuitive. The cut literally tells your curls where to go. Scrunch in your products, maybe clip the crown for extra lift while it dries, and let the diagonal do its thing. The waterfall effect happens naturally. So there you have it, gorgeous. 7 curly haircuts that can genuinely turn back the clock without turning your wallet inside out. Let's do a quick recap. The elevated crown layer for natural lift. The asymmetrical soft angle for sophisticated edge. The rounded perimeter shape for soft, flowing beauty. Face-framing spiral layers for dimension and movement. The textured collarbone graze for elegant freshness. The confidence crop for bold transformation. And the waterfall diagonal for structured flow. Now here's what I want you to remember. The best haircut is the one that makes you feel like the most authentic, confident, beautiful version of yourself. Age has nothing to do with rules and everything to do with knowing what works for you. Before you go, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss next week's video where I'm breaking down the 5 biggest curly hair mistakes women make after 60 and how to fix them immediately. You're going to want to see that one. Drop a comment and tell me, which of these 7 cuts spoke to you? Are you feeling brave enough to try something new? Or are you sticking with what you love? I want to hear from you. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Remember, looking fabulous isn't about your age or your budget. It's about knowing your worth and showing up as the incredible woman you are. Until next time, keep glowing, keep growing, and keep being absolutely ageless.